Hi, everybody. I'm going to hang out here for a minute, see if I can find my video on the Facebook page, and then I'll go ahead and put the screen on. So welcome if you're out there. Oh, there we are. Okay, I got that. All right, I'm going to go ahead. It's about 2:01, and I'm going to put on the camera. I think we have some people out there. There we go. Let me get this out of the way. There we go. Hi, everybody. So welcome to Live with Janome. I'm Ann Hine, embroidery software specialist, and I'm just a little bit early. I thought I'd pop on because sometimes it takes everyone a minute or so to find us on the Facebook page. It's always, even I have trouble sometimes. I have my comments up, so if you're out there, you can give me a thumbs up so I know who's there. Let me see. I have a couple people out there. And today we're going to be talking a little bit more about our V2, version 2 with Artistic Digitizer. And hopefully people are, got their update when it was offered or tried the trial. I know different countries have done it at different times, so we are overlapping in some people who are doing that. And if you haven't, join our community. Let me put this back up because I think the community page is there. Let me see here. We'll put this back up. And yeah, we're the Janome Artistic Digitizer Support Community. So that's our Facebook page right here. So join us there. And then we're happy to help you. You can post any questions you have. You can post your projects, anything like that. So go ahead and do that. Hi, Joanne from England, right? Is that what that? Yeah, there we are. I think we have a nice day here. It's kind of cool at the East Coast right now. So before we get started, I'm going to talk a little bit about this necklace and these earrings. I did these a while ago. I think in maybe 22 and 23. I'm somewhere in that range. But what I did is I just took a leaf shape, and let me take my earring out so I'll hold it closer. And I made freestanding lace. So you make your leaf shape. Let me move this up. Make a little thing at the top for the hanger, and then you can put your additional pieces on there, and then you stitch it on the wash away stabilizer. And then I added my earring topper and a little feather on there. And then here I just put in between, so I put some beads on there and kind of a leatherette type necklace on there. So, and they're kind of, I have problems with mirror image here trying to figure it out. Oh, this side. So anyways, maybe you did those at one time. I think I'm going to do them again in the spring for some, maybe we'll do flowers or something different. I got to figure out what to do there. Oh, we have someone from Montreal. Is it Teresa? Nice to see you all. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. We are talking about version 2, and we're going to talk a little bit about Sketch. But actually, I really want to, and it's not, we have it in 1.7. We have more tools with it in 2. I'm going to talk about Photostitch because I think we overlook that. And now that we can manipulate it. So I'm going to just show you my samples in the beginning here. And then I'll tell you a little bit about how I got to where I'm going. And I did this one this morning. It's not done. I started my stitch out, and then I just wanted to try the elements, the extra elements, rather than just all the photo stitch that I layered on top of it. So as I got going, I was like, well, that's kind of okay. I like some of it, but I don't like all of it. And then I went back in and I redid the photo part, and I have to add on the other parts, but this is the second one I did. Much better than this one, right? You can really tell the difference. Oh, this way. And the reason this one looks so good, this one looks so good, sorry, is I took the photograph into Canva and I worked with the highlights and the tinting and the brightness of it to clean my picture up a little bit more, to make it a little more vibrant so that when it does the photo stitch, it'll catch more of the details and have those in there. So I'll be working on this and I'll be adding some things to it. I'm going to open my software because I got this idea from one of our list members, and she just popped on, Janie, and I'm going to show you hers, what she did, and it really inspired me because, this is great, this is pretty good, but you can do a lot more with it. You have to think outside the box a little bit. So let me get my software up, and then I can show you a few things there and how I did mine. All right, let me go in here. Oh, I can do it from here, I think. All right, so this is the one. This is Janie's here, and isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go in close so you guys can really see it. She posted this to our Facebook page, and I asked her if I could use it today. And the base of her piece is Photostitch. And then she added things to it, around her eye, all these shapings around here. I wasn't that brave with mine. I'll show you what I did. I did add decorative stitches on the side right here. So you can really do so much with Photostitch. It doesn't have to be flat, okay? The other thing I'm going to show you is, let me see if it's in here. This one, this is my original photo right here. Let me see if I can make these bigger. This is my original photo that I cropped it down. But when I took it into Canva, I lightened it up like this. What a huge difference in, how it really takes to the Photostitch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my, I am in my folder. Let me make this smaller. I did a whole bunch of different ones when I was playing with this, as you can see, and I number them. And they're all draw files. And so let me see if I have, this is my first one. So I used my original photo for that. I think that's what that, that might not be that one. Let's see, that's AH1. Oh, and one. This is the first one I did. And so I started adding these lines on there for my decorative stitches. So, oops, let me put them, I'm going to delete them for just a minute, just so you can see. So I brought in the full photo, and then I cropped this part away. So it's pretty easy to do that. So I'm going to show you that first. But I want to go back through and show you a couple other things that I did with it. This one here, I made a square, and in the square I did shape fill, and then I layered it on top of the stitching I did for my hair, and then on my glasses. And you all know I love that like 70s flower look. So I added that on top of it, and that's about 80,000 stitches. This would probably take you maybe 2 hours to stitch out. It's about a 2-hour stitch out on there. And I'm going to close these as I go because they get a little bit heavy when I'm working with the computer and streaming and all of that. And then I did this one over here, and I'll show you how I trimmed that to cut away the actual photo stitch back here on that part of it. I didn't play that much with Sketch because I've done a lot with Sketch, but I'll show you what the photo looks like in Sketch as well, so you can see that also. But I just wanted to show you the different ones that I was working on and how they were looking. Let me see. This one here, I don't think I like this one. Let me see what this one, yeah, I did this one. This is a combination of Sketch and Photostitch. So if I pull this off, you'll see and if we put it up on top, that's the Sketch portion, like that. So I was trying to see if they layer up very well, and they don't really look all that great layered up, but that is what Sketch looks like. And I'll show you how you accomplish that, because I'm sure we have some. Hi, Marty. Nice to see you again. I'm sure we have some people who need to know about Sketch. So I'm just going to close this. I don't need to save it that way. Let me see if I had another one over here that I wanted to show you guys. I don't think so. I think, well, this is very much like, yeah, so this is the last one I did with the old picture, and I'm going to go back and redo all this extra stuff. So I was playing around with different things on here. I did add decorative stitches on my glasses and decorative stitches here. And then I started doing some line work with decorative stitches on here. And this little part here, some of these circles are actually behind the paint, the photo stitch. But I did it when I stitched it originally, I did it all in black, so it doesn't really look like it's behind. So if I did this again with the color, with some stuff behind the photo stitch, I would make them a different color, maybe silver, or just another color in the background, because they just blend in. Let me go back to the camera and I'll show you that. Hang on here. Like this, see here, I mean, some of these are, you see the black dots, like the one up here by my fingers. That one is actually behind, but you can't tell because the black is over it. So it didn't really make much difference. But I liked the look of, let me go back to the software. I like this look of it kind of behind the stitching like that. And you have to trick it a little bit because some of these come out as artwork. So you have to select them all and move them off to the side, and then convert them to stitches. And then you can bring them back in, so they'll stay as stitches. All right, so let me go, and I'm going to get my photograph and I'll show you how I did it. Thank you, Janie. I kind of like it too. I kind of got sucked in and I couldn't stop, so, but I do think my decorative stitches here need to be a little bigger. Let's look back here at Janie's. You can really see the definition here on the ones that she did. And I don't know, you can post if you like. I took my photo into Canva, and first I tried to do it in paint, but I didn't like that. And I'm not very good with that part of it, but I did try Canva, and that worked. I thought that worked really well, and it was easy to, play with the different parts of it. So I'm just going to close some of these other ones here, and then we'll go into how to do this. Let's see, I don't need to save that because we'll come back. There we go. We'll leave that one up. All right, so I'm going to come out here, and I'm going to go to my folder and get this one here. So you bring in your graphic. You can double click on your graphic. You could bring it in from a folder and drag it onto the workspace. I have it in a USB stick because I worked originally this morning in my PC, and then I stream over here on my Mac. Now I crop this because I don't need it to convert all this white part. So I can just, bring it up in here. And if you don't see those dots, if you click and drag across your graphic, they'll pop up. So here are our choices, and we're going to start. Let's do Photostitch, and okay. And there it is. I'm going to actually move it off the grid so you can see it without the crosshair in there. And we'll move it away from the hoop so we don't have the hoop bothering us. There we go. Oh my goodness, I keep getting all these extra things that I don't need. When you click on it, you get your properties over here. And let me get my properties and see if I can make them bigger. There we go, so we can see them. So in here, I want to do it monochromatic. If you don't do it monochromatic, it gives you the RGB colors down here, red, blue, green, and it gives you this kind of look here. And so you would layer in your colors. But I love the monochromatic, so I always choose that. And then you can play around with, and I'll zoom in so we can see, you can play around with the stitch width. So it's at 0.06, that's the default setting. And then if I make it wider, of course, we lose it. If I make it narrower, you can go down to a 0.04, and it does fill it in a little bit more. Maybe this is actually pretty nice. It gives a good coverage on the sides, and then you can really see the differences on my face and stuff. So I really like that part. And then if you wanted to play with the density, you could make it more or less dense. So I'm just going to slide it this way. That's probably more dense, and then this is less dense over here. So it kind of goes away. I think somewhere down here at 0.02 is the set one. Let me see if I just do undo, if it'll bring it back to default. There it is. Okay. So so you can play with that part of it, but I really suggest, before you bring your photo in is that you use it in a photo program, maybe like Canva, or there's some apps on your phone you can use as well that are really good. So one of the things with version 2 is we can crop away parts, all this back part. So if I didn't want any of that, I would come over here to my Digitize Outline Shape tool, and then I'm set on the context tool. So that means left clicks, when I left click, it is a curve node, and when I shift and click, I get a corner node. So I might want a corner node here, but I'm just going to do curves up here. So I could bring it in really close to my head like this, all the way around to trim off all that extra. There we go. And then I could come down here and do this. You want to start your line outside your work and end it outside your work. Then hit select, then hold down shift and select your photo stitch. You're going to right click, knife, and there you have the two parts. I can just click off of this, select the outer part, and delete it. In the case of that other part, I kept it and just slid it away and used it there. But let's leave it off for a moment. So now I have this. If I wanted to do, I can even turn it to sketch at this point too. So here it is. Let's do a sketch with this. You select it, and over here you can open up your options, and you can do paint stitch, cross stitch, or sketch. So I'm going to go into sketch. And then with sketch, what I really like is on the number of colors, I like to use 4. And it's 4 shades of gray. There we go. You may have more in your palette of gray, but I really like the shading in here. This came out very nice. And then, it looks like a weird head, right? So why don't you make a frame? You could come over here to your shapes, pick out your rectangle, draw a rectangle over it like this. And then what I do is I select it up here in my scale. I'm going to do a copy paste, and then I'm going to make it 80% smaller. So I have 2, and then I'm going to select the outer one. So the inner selected, I'll hit shift and the outer. I'm going to right click, and then I can go to shaping and trim, and then I could take away the inside. And there I have a little framework around there. If I wanted to, I could also play a little bit with, you know what I could do? This would be better. I'm going to go over here. I think I can do it with this. Let me see. I'm going to take a little dot here, and I'm actually going to make it black. There we go. And I don't need the outline, so I'm going to delete the outline. And then I'm going to select my dot. I'm going to select my frame and right click, array, create fill from shapes. There, it fills it in, but I can use that new space fill right here. And then in space fill, I can come in here and change the largest, make it smaller, make these even smaller, like that. There we go. We start getting other little dots in there. Maybe the spacing could be less. And so you have a nice little dotty frame. And I could go around on the outsides of this, and I could actually put, on the outline, if I wanted to put a decorative stitch around the outside. Let's do this one. Which way is that going? There we go. So now I have a little decorative stitch around there. So you really, with one little photograph, I have a lot of options right here. And hi, Ray, from Oregon. Oh, cool. I was just out there a little bit ago. And so this is using Sketch, and you can do a lot with Sketch. You can even add the decorative stitches like I did on my paint stitch. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go ahead and well, I think I'll save this. So what I do is you come up here to File, and then I do Save As, and it's going in my November 25th folder. And then up here, I'm going to name it, I don't know. I'm going to call it A-framed. There we go. And then save. Now, I save almost everything of mine as a draw file. And you saw in my folder before, I had like and 1, and 2, and 3. As I made different parts of it, let's look here in my as I did different combinations, I just saved it. This is and 9, and then over here this is and 3, and so forth, and 10. So as I'm going along, I save each of these so that I have a record to go back to. I might not like any of them, but that's what I might, this way I can save all those little combinations instead of, as you work along, maybe 3 combinations back, you liked what you did and you're like, now I don't have it. So I just find a way. Do you like that space fill? I love that space fill. All right, so let's go back in. I'm going to turn this one back into a paint stitch so I can show you how to work with that. We can do the same things here that we did, or photo stitch, sorry, I could make it a paint stitch too if I wanted. Here we go, there it is. And then I am going to move it off to the side like this so that we can not have that pink behind it, and I'll just make it bigger. Right now it's only like 6 by 6. I could actually make it a little bit bigger just by the corner handles. So that's something new. It fills in. I could cut away, all of this outside part if I wanted to, just like I did for the sketch, but I'm going to leave it in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Digitize Outline Shape tool, and I'm going to put those decorative stitches in. So I just started like along the edge of my hair, and I came down here, and I kind of made it look like it's curving, and, gave myself a little bit longer hair. There we go, end shape. And then once I had that, I could come over here to my outline and open up stitches right here. And I could add any of these stitches. And this is where the fun part comes, because there's so many of them, and I could get lost here for days trying to figure out, which one do I want over there? So I'm going to start, I think, with this one, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Whoops. Now this is happening because I did not turn off my tool over here. See, so let me hit select. So there's my piece. I can come back in here and I can change the width of that. So maybe I want it a little bit wider, maybe 3.0 mm. You can use the slider, but for me, sometimes just putting in the numbers is good. So that might be nice. I would go back and draw another one. And you don't have to make them come all the way down. I'm going to just put a whole bunch in here and show you. I did some that just, came along here like this and then stopped. You might even move your nodes around to give yourself a little bit of movement in your hair if you wanted to. So you can add all your lines in and then go back and put all the different stitches in that you want to use and play with those. And then for my glasses, I just decided across the top of my glasses, I went just across the top like this, just to show them a little bit more. And then over here, I went into stitches, and I think I used somewhere down here, it's like a little rosette, not that one, not that little one. Let's see. It was more of a filled in one. It might be more towards the top. I don't know. I'm going to just pick one up here. It just looked good going across there. Well, I'll just pick this little one here. And then I actually made that a different color. So it's green right now. And what I can do is I can right click on here and edit color. And then, if I was using whatever brand, maybe I was using Marathon, and then I could go to the swatches, and I wanted to put a little, like it to be a silver color. I don't know if this is silver enough, but oops, again, I did not turn off that tool. Hit escape, and then you can turn off that tool. So then I have a different color going across my glasses, and I'd probably fix this curve right here. It's a little, maybe I think I wanted a little less angly. So maybe a little bit more like this. So you can still keep going in there and tweaking and doing all those things that you want to do till you have it. I'll go back to one of the ones that I did. Let's see, I think is this my last, let's see, the last one was about 11. There we go, maybe 12. Let me look at 12. I don't know why that thing keeps opening over there. Here we go. Let's do this one. There we go. So here I added the decorative stitches here. Now, one of the things I did when I went across here, I used one line. So let's say I went from here to here like this. So you're going to go left click, right click, end shape, and then you select it. You're going to go to edit nodes, and I put a node. I went right here and I did right click, split outline. I came over here and did right click, split outline. Go back to select, right click on your piece, break apart, click off of it, and then you can remove that middle section. Instead of trying to get one here, I wanted them to kind of line up as they went across, so you can do them in that respect. The little dots, I added those just like I with a using a shape and the space fill. And then after I got them done, I moved them around. You can separate to objects and move them around. So it's really fun. I can't wait to get back to that other one that I did and place a little bit more with it. Now, I did mention something at the beginning I wanted to show you guys, and I completely forgot what it was. This one here, see, you don't have to make a square outline. Here I did, I just went around it with the Digitize Outline Shape tool, and then I added, this is the random satin serial. So under outline and satin serial, we have random right here at the bottom, and it puts, we'll get in, maybe I'll make it a different color. That might be better. Let's edit that color. Oh, let's just do Janome. Here we go, make it red. There we go. Maybe we can see it better. There we go. So you can see how it's sort of feathery on both sides. You have a choice. You can do it on the A side. Ooh, I like that. And you know what you can do? This is kind of fun. Let me escape out of there again with the tools. If you select that red and I copy pasted it, and then I came here and hit the pencil and turned it yellow, I can layer my yellow on, well, I can switch them around if I want to. Let's select this one, select by color, and right click, order. Let's go back one, see if it moves. Oh, I want to go forward one, sorry, with the red. Oh, now I changed the color, duh. Here we go, click off of there. Click here, select by color, right click. I want to move it to front, so it'll be on top of the, well, I want it on top, I'm not sure why. But you can layer those in, and then you have, it looks like I'm really hot like a flame here. And you could change your red one or your yellow one, whichever way you like the flames to go, so you can have them inside, outside, things like that. So there's a lot of like creativity without, a lot of clicks, a lot of clicks on there. All right. You guys are so quiet. Do you have any questions really quick about anything that I showed you on here, how to do anything in here? I think the important thing to remember is to take your photograph into a program like Canva or some photo thing, so you can make it, give it a lot of lightness or heighten the details. And I think that's what happened here. My glasses got a little bit darker, and let me see what Paint Stitch looks like. I don't know what this will look like in Paint Stitch, but we can try. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's not bad. I'm a little bit oddly pink there. Maybe I've been drinking too much or something. I don't know. What color is this? Oh, those are Janome. So maybe if I went and did color manager and went here to my marathon and just clicked in here, and these are all should be marathon now. Oh, no, they didn't change. Why did they not change? There we go. And then there we are. So then you can, you have You can have different colors in there. And then of course with Paint Stitch, you have all your parameters over here that you can play with. You can manipulate this too if I wanted, if I wanted to cut this, maybe put a heart here. Oops, I should have, hang on. Let's go to curves. There we go. And then select everything, right click knife. Oh, it's not. Oh, that's it. I got to get my little ends outside here. They have to be outside a little bit. We'll have to make my heart a little bit bigger. That's the one thing you have to get used to is the start and stop of your piece has to be out here. Well, I'd have to fix this, but just so you can see it, let's go in here and then select all, and you can shape it. And then it gives you the different parts that you can delete. Maybe you could put someone else's head in here if you wanted. There we go. So you can slide that into something. I just think the manipulation of these that we have right now is very inspiring and so much fun to work with. Does everybody understand how to do the space fill I did here? So let me go back. I'm gonna close a bunch of these because it takes a lot of the of your RAM when you're working here. I don't want to save that one. I don't want to save any of these really. Let's just get a few down. I just love this. I can't stop looking at Janie. I just can't. All right. I think we're down pretty good. I'm going to open this one and I'm just going to do Photostitch. I'm going to make these smaller like this and okay. There it is. Now to do a space fill on there, I'm going to make a shape. I could do a round shape or rectangular. So I'm just going to do a rectangle like this. And then I don't need the fill, I don't think. And then I'm going to go get my flower. I think it's over here. And I'm going to copy that and bring it back over here. I could do that a different way and bring it over as well. Then I'm going to make it smaller because it's a little bit big for here. I'm going to take my flower and my outline. I'm going to right click, array. See where it's right down here, array, create fill from shapes. Then I can come over here and I'm going to click on space fill. And then from here, what I did is I made the max size smaller. Ooh, that's a lot of them. Maybe not that small. And then let's see, the spacing, maybe more or less spacing. And then once I got it where I wanted, let's say this is where I wanted, I'm going to delete this guy here. I didn't want them on top of my face. So while it's selected right here, you can do separate to objects. Once you separate, come back over here and ungroup. Now these are all individuals. So you can come in here and you can delete them like that. I think that looks kind of nice. So that's really fun. It's really kind of a fun way to work with it. All right. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I haven't seen any questions come up. We are just about at half an hour. I can't wait to stitch some of these because I'm raring to do that. Let me get the camera back on and see if there's going to be any questions or something else I can show you that I didn't show you just yet. Let me see, make sure there's nothing. Nope, I don't see anything in there. All right. Well, you can always post your questions. I can come back later and answer them. But I really want to get you to play a little bit more with your software. Like experiment a little bit. You don't have to be. It doesn't have to be perfection. I'm kind of like the craftsy artistic digitizer user. I think I really like the free part of it, the free forming of it, that I can kind of do my own thing. Same thing with these photographs. I have some other photographs. I actually have a watercolor from my daughter-in-law that of my son that I want to play around with. I haven't played with that one yet, but I'll probably be doing some kind of thing with that and for them. And then, but you know, even look at the black. Oh, well, you can't see this. Let me go back. I want to show you one. Well, when you layer things on top of your photo stitch, it actually removes the layers below it, so you don't have to worry about that doubling up. Okay. All right, everyone. So open your software, start playing with it, bring in those photos, those graphics, and mix them up and play with them. Bring, you know, decorative stitches in and layer things up. Just, you know, like a big old soup. Bring it all in there and get it going. All right, everyone. I'm going to let you go. Have a great Thanksgiving next week if you're celebrating Thanksgiving. And then I will see you. I am posting next week, but it's going to be recorded. You guys heard it here because I'm going to be eating turkey with my family. So I'll be back the week after that live, and we'll be doing some kind of fun stuff there. And then they're going to have our Christmas let's see, what is it called? Open houses. So this year we have several of those. They're all ready to go. Different projects. There's 4 or 5 of us that did different things and it's all based around cookies with sewing and embroidery. I don't know. How could you go wrong with that? All right. Oh, you're welcome, Marty. I hope I inspired all of you to do this. I told Janie earlier, she really inspired me to play a little bit differently with the software, and I love that. So check out our Facebook page so you can see what everybody's doing. And there's also a free project over there from our developer with a embossed snowman. It's kind of cute. All right, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you again after Thanksgiving. Bye for now.